So we now move on to an exciting case study from Kasia Bigda, who's the Marketing and Communications Director at Mr. Lee's Pure Foods Company. Fascinating. Hi, Kasia. Over to you.
Hi, I'm Kasia Bigda, and I'm a Marketing and Communications Director for Mr. Lee's Pure Foods. Today I will tell you a bit about our brand and why we are different. I will present you with insights into some of our marketing channels and their impact on sales, and showcase results of our user testing and the tools we use to better understand our customer journey. The best person to introduce you to the brand is our late founder, Damien Lee, whose vision was to create a global brand of instant foods made with absolutely nothing artificial.
When you're diagnosed with cancer, you have a lot of people wanting to give you advice. People are offering you alternative medicine ideas. Your doctors, of course, are telling you you've got to take the traditional routes. But I think, you've got to make your own call on that. I moved down here to Bournemouth almost 4 years ago to found a long-time ambition of mine, which was an internet startup company, a .com, and that business was called Design Gadgets. At the time, I'd amassed 20, 30 people around the brand. Things were going great. Pretty much invested most of my own personal income into that business, and I was dropped a bombshell with late-stage 4 cancer. You know, when you get that sort of news, and particularly me, I'm also a single full-time dad of 2 young, amazing little boys, James and Joshua. When they tell you you've only got probably a few weeks left, you know you've got to take some action. When I put my mind to something, I generally achieve it. And that's just been my outlook and my attitude, and it's what I teach my 2 children. And for me, I looked at it as just more challenges. There are highs and lows, of course, when you're going through treatment. You know, I've today had a total of 54 treatments and 3 surgeries. Yeah, sometimes you don't feel the greatest in the morning, and you're thinking, oh boy, when the nurses are telling you hi and they're hooking you up to another chemo treatment. For them, it's just another day in the office, but for you, the one that's got to go through it, it's like, oh, here we go again. But did I ever feel like I wasn't going to make it? Never. I know I've got too much left to do on this planet. I have to be here for my boys. I want to see them grow up. I want to be giving them away at their weddings to their brides-to-be one day. I want to see them graduate from university. What we did, I changed my diet, took all the nasties out of my diet, prepared my body and my mind for the battle ahead. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I could no longer have my favorite snack, instant noodles. It's like you put diesel in an unleaded car, the engine's going to stop. We're no different. What we put in our body and what we fuel our bodies with is so important. It changed my whole attitude towards eating, and I've become so much more aware about what I put into my body and what we as consumers put into our body. And I wanted to do something about it. Mr. Lee's noodles are one of the lowest in salts, one of the lowest in sugars, one of the lowest in saturated fats, one of the lowest in calories, with real ingredients. And we're proudly the most expensive instant noodle in the market for all those reasons. Getting cancer once is difficult, and getting through it is even more difficult. You know, 1.5 to 2 years after we launched as a company, yes, I was diagnosed with cancer again. This time I was diagnosed with neck and throat cancer. I lost all my taste buds, and having a food company and you can't taste your own food is really, really difficult. It was quite emotional for me, because things that you just took for granted. I remember simple things like looking at people inside restaurants, smiling and happy and cutting into their food, and I would look at them and I'd get welled up and emotional and feel, wow, I wish I could be doing that too. And I'm happy to say, again, I managed to come through it all, and I'm in complete remission from that cancer as well, again after all my treatments and surgeries and so on. And I'm finally eating food again. And so now I have no regrets of what I've been through, the first cancer or the second cancer at all. I believe it's made me more determined around making great food, about our mission as a brand to create healthier options. And I've got so many more ideas that we need to do as a brand, and so many more good food ideas and all sorts of other ideas and technology ideas around this brand. My job ain't done yet. And, you know, when I feel it's finally done, then maybe I'll think of settling down, but not yet.
Damien was an extraordinary visionary who wanted to do things differently. As a small company, we didn't have big marketing budgets, so we needed to get creative on how to deliver his dream on a shoestring budget. I'm sure most of you is familiar with this graph from e-consultancy. I will not have time to cover every aspect of it, but I will showcase some of the most interesting examples from our campaigns. Let's start with awareness. In terms of exposure, which actually converts into sales, hands down the best results we had were from the good old TV. Normally, you would not be able to justify the cost of TV ads campaign without having a national distribution for it to make a financial sense. But luckily, we didn't have to. The opportunity came in a form of reality show Rich House Poor House at Channel 5, who asked Damien to take part. If you have not heard of it, it's a show where two families from completely opposite ends of the financial spectrum swap houses, budgets, and social status for 7 days to discover how the other side lives. The episode aired early April 2020, just at the beginning of pandemic, and our website server crashed, unable to cope with the large amount of people at the checkout funnel. You can see the spike of visitors in the graph. Lesson we learned then: whatever we are planning a bigger campaign now, we make sure our website server is upgraded to be able to deliver. For weeks after, we had enormous increase in sales, as people could later watch it on demand. Over the initial period of 2 days, we had 430% increase in users and 97% increase in revenue on our website. As we just started focusing on e-commerce, the timing couldn't have been better. Obviously, appearing on a reality show is not for everyone, and opportunities like that do not come every day, so we needed to get creative and find other ways to appear on the screen. We have been approached by a TV prop placement platform called Prop Fiction, who are connecting prop masters with brands, allowing you to showcase your products in movies and TV series for channels like BBC, ITV, Netflix, Amazon, you name it. We have been featured in at least 2 free productions so far, including Together and Silent Witness, with many more still in production, so quite exciting. With the recent release of the Silent Witness episode featuring us, and they have an average viewing of 7 million people per episode, we had a spike of sales on Amazon of 450%, not to mention the value of the brand exposure. And also the main hero commented on our tweet. I'm sure you will agree that for the symbolic £10 per lead, it is a no-brainer. Everyone knows about the power of TV, but voice search is relatively new. We were keen to experiment a bit and found the opportunity to test the waters with a newly launched strategy with voice game Warriors Land. It offers a combination of brand awareness with interaction and e-commerce. So, for example, the first message welcomed by the players by saying, "Welcome to Warriors Land, brought to you by Mr. Lee's Noodles, one of the healthiest instant noodles on the market." And then, during the game, players heard messages like, "You found the cup of Mr. Lee's Noodles. A good and healthy meal restored your strength. You will also receive an email with a discount for Mr. Lee's products available on the website." Their strength grown for a few points, so they could continue the game, making a positive, rewarding association with the brand. Our noodles were literally in the game. The click-through rate to the website from unique players was 0.20%, so a bit higher than the average for most of the display and native ads of 0.13 to 0.15%. There's definitely a potential there, especially that most people do not play with the phone in their hands, but just using the voice, so potentially the real click-through rate could be much bigger. What I particularly like about it is that the player is actively rewarded by the brand during the game, and that there are no other brands and ads there, so your brand really stands out, unlike display ads which often come unnoticed. We are planning to scale it up a bit and see how it behaves with an already established game, which could be very interesting. During the first lockdown, we have been launching into supermarkets in the USA. What a timing. The sampling activity we have planned to do in the shops were cancelled, and we needed to find different ways to get our products into people's hands. Our recent research shown that majority of people decide to buy after trying a sample, followed by promo in store and recommendation from a friend. So sampling was very high on our agenda. So for this campaign, we wanted to appeal to people who are keen to switch to healthier foods and who care for the quality of products they put into their bodies. Therefore, we have been recommended by one of our contacts to speak to Makina app, who connects users with better for you brands and gives them price discounts and rewards after purchasing healthy products. So for example, when they buy, they get a cashback of some percentage of the price, for example, like £1 or $1, and also can get points for interacting with the brand. For example, following on social media, recommending to friends, leaving a review, taking a photo of the product on shelf. Another opportunity was a platform called Social Nature, which is helping people to discover better for them products. They submit their details on their website to get a code to redeem a free product in store, and in exchange, they have to review it. We have received over 1,500 reviews for our products, an email database of the people who tried it. So both options are great ways for brands who are just starting to get reviews and brand exposure, but even more so to help your rate of sale. It's obviously very important and helpful when you speak to buyers and have to present them with the plan on how you will support them after they list you. So in the UK, we have tried a few subscription boxes, which was one of the best options to bring our products in front of people on a low budget. For many of them, like the Gusta box, there are no insertion fees, so you only need to provide product, which is then distributed to over 6,000 people, including influencers and bloggers. Also at the end, which is great, you get the results in the survey, which includes feedback on the taste, first impressions, price, whatever you asked for in the survey questions. Brand partnerships also worked really well for us. We have partnered with a lot of like-minded brands who've been promoting us in their gift boxes on social media. It's a great way for us to get exposure to potentially new audiences and more chance they will remember your brand, as if they already like and trust the brand they follow. The cooperation works a little bit like a recommendation from a friend. Email marketing is one of our favorite channels, mostly because it converts well, it's under our control, and is relatively cheap. The costs are mostly the fee for the software. We have 3 different countries we target with our e-shots: UK, USA, and Australia, and it is interesting to see how they are reacting to our offers. In the USA, for example, we have noticed that people are much more used to buying from us on Amazon and in physical stores rather than from our website, despite having better deals on our online store. It may be due to convenience, habits, trust, expectations about shipping times and fees. Interestingly, in Australia, Amazon is relatively new and less of a competition for our website. So the customers are mostly buying from us. With all the different email lists we have acquired via different ways, for example, sampling, competitions, website pop-ups, social media ads, etc. Definitely the worst performing in terms of sales on our website are those acquired via social media competitions, but the best performing ones are the ones acquired via social media ads and website pop-ups. Campaigns with the biggest revenue were the short and snappy weekend offer campaigns sent out on Friday afternoon with a reminder that the offer expires at midnight, sent out on Sunday morning. The reminder e-shot usually brings around 40 to 60% of the revenue of the first e-shot, so definitely worth doing. Affiliate marketing was something we started trying very recently. This channel is great for brands who do not want to take any financial risk and are only happy to pay when the actual conversion happens, rather than per impressions or clicks. One of the platforms which allows us to do it on the budget is Trade Doubler, which offers only a small monthly fee. I think it's around £50. And then you set up your level of commission to pay to the publishers. So for example, 8-10% of the sales value. If you have Tag Manager, the setup shouldn't take too long, but they also have very helpful customer service team. So if you struggle, they will help you out. The platform is fairly easy to get around and great way to promote your discount codes, multi-buys, free shipping, or just your product. The redemption of the code we have set up to promote through their publishers' websites, which also include sites with discount codes, is one of the highest converting we have had, with the conversion rate above the average on this channel. These may be people who look for a discount code to use while already in the sales funnel, so they are aware of the brand and now they just want to find a deal to finish the transaction. Our attribution model shown that majority of our conversions, which are attributed to affiliate, actually started in Google. So we've been doing all of these activities and more, bringing people to our website, and the sales were not as expected. Everyone at the team had their own theory. Some may say it's the price, some may say it's the shipping fees, the checkout funnel length, the images, the descriptions. The list is endless. But what was it? The best way is to ask your visitors, but where to start? Well, as we use our own website so often, we learned how to navigate them and can see the confusions which people may have. We have started reviewing two sources we had to our disposal. So Google Analytics, to see the drop-off rates in our checkout funnel and the common user journeys, and also a tool called Lucky Orange. Lucky Orange allows you to watch recorded or live customer journey on your website and even interact with the customer via live chat. It's particularly useful when they have some issues with purchasing from you and you can direct them to the right place. We are often using it to resolve customer service issues by rewatching the user journey and finding out what may have caused that. The tool doesn't provide any personal details to our customers, but you should be able to easily enough find the relevant journey by filtering. So for example, people from Melbourne who went to check out at 1 p.m. but did not convert. And then we watch their journeys to find out what the issue was. It also provides heat maps, so if you're considering changes to your website, it's worth checking out before you make any big changes. One of the features it has is a pop-up option, which you can very easily set up to be showing on specific pages for various purposes. So for example, to announce any shipping delays, to ask for comments, subscribe to email newsletter, etc. We have installed it on our Australian and American sites to ask people to nominate a postcode where they would love to be able to buy Mr. Lee's to prove the interest and validate their locations when we speak to the buyers. Basic package for Lucky Orange starts from like $10, so definitely a great value for money. So we have rewatched countless journeys and came up with a few theses we wanted to check with users. The next step, user testing. Usertesting.com is probably one of the most popular websites to do user testing out there. It gives you access to the panelists based on any criteria you can imagine. Also, you can ask for qualifying questions to choose the most relevant audiences. It's quite cheap. It costs around £35 per user, and you need around 6 users to get a good idea if there are any common issues, so it's not too expensive. You have your results back in the next 24 hours, so a very quick turnaround. An average recording you get back is about 15-20 minutes long as they go through your questions and tasks you have designed. The test revealed quite a few issues we didn't suspect we had and highlighted the importance of speaking to our audience and asking them for their opinion, especially after any website redesign. The top issue was that people didn't know about the offers we had on our website till the checkout stage when they already decided on what they wanted and are ready to check out. There is a big red widget on the homepage to state buy 2 get 4% off and spend over £20 get free shipping, but people didn't notice that despite them actually landing on the homepage during the test. With multiple marketing campaigns running, people are landing on different pages and not always on the homepage. So having all the promotions visible on every step of the funnel would really increase the chance of them being noticed, and in our case, would improve the basket size. The second major finding was quite an odd one: floating add to basket button, quite a popular feature, especially on mobile devices. The big bold black and red panel is always at the bottom of the page as users scroll up and down, to allow people to add to the basket at any point. Seems straightforward and helpful, right? Well, not exactly. Most of our reviewers couldn't see it and been looking for add to cart button at the top of the page, scrolling up and down and searching for the option which was so clearly in front of them. Some didn't find it at all at the end. It's obviously a huge issue on an e-commerce site if your customers can see the checkout button, isn't it? The tests revealed some issues which we wouldn't think much of before. Issues which, when scaled up, could become a big problems. So we have prioritized them all and we'll be addressing them very soon. Hope I will be able to share with you the results next time. Thank you for your time and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.